Bienvenidos, ¿cómo estáis? Nuestros compañeros de Agencia Cósmica. Estoy muy contenta y feliz porque voy a presentaros este video que muchos estáis esperando y siempre preguntando cómo elevar nuestra frecuencia. Pues este es el video donde Swaruu hablará un poco, bastante, sobre varias claves maneras de elevar nuestra frecuencia. Al final del video voy a añadir un pequeño punto más de mi parte. Hasta pronto.
Hello Swaruu. Let's talk about the subject that is important for us all: how to elevate the frequency. Please, let's start going over all ways to elevate the frequency, starting from the physical level, and then we can deepen. Hello Gosia. Consciousness and being in a low frequency are very connected. When you are in a low frequency, you are in a decreased state of consciousness. You cannot focus. You don't see things logically. It fogs the mind. The higher your consciousness is, the higher your frequency also is, because you can see more details and realize what's around them and how they are all connected. A low frequency is an emotion: fear, anxiety, hatred, frustration, and all similar ones are all low frequency states or feelings. There is a very wide range of emotions, from the super low to the super high, and we naturally move up and down that scale all the time. And what moves us up and down is our thoughts and the emotions that result from them. Remember, everything we perceive from the external world is nothing but the interpretation we give to the data our senses receive, and we interpret it all with data we have or decided how things should be based mostly on our past experiences. So, it's our interpretation of things and events occurring apparently outside of us what will cause us to have a thought that, in turn, will trigger an emotional reaction. Although it's only a mirror of what occurs inside ourselves. There is no physical external world. So, causally, everything that is outside of us is the result of our interpretation and of our frequency, all coming out of the state of our consciousness under the principle of higher consciousness, more awareness, and more detail. So everything outside of us is frequency within a soup of potential energy waiting for a consciousness to manipulate with its own frequency. Things, situations, and events are all a frequency. If yours matches one, then you have it. In other words, the potential energy will be given a meaning depending on the state of consciousness of an individual or person. What to do? First, get rid of everything that is keeping you in a lower state of frequency. Do not eat meat or anything with a heart and a face. It hurts you in every possible way, in every possible level, physically, mentally, and frequency. Also, karmically. Your body does not need it. Eggs and dairy are tolerable if you need them, but much better if you can do without. But that depends on your body type. If you cannot leave them, it's okay. That's up to you. Then, you must leave all addictions. Understand them and see that they are of no benefit for you. No hard drugs at all. No alcohol and no smoking either. They all bring attachments and archons that speak to you as if they were your own thoughts. and will only try to lure you to more of the same, as they want more of the same experience they can only have through you. Hard drugs make a mess out of your system on multiple levels, and hard drugs also include all officially established medicine prescription drugs. Psychedelic shamanic substance 2, mushrooms, ayahuasca, marijuana. Going that way. Mushrooms, ayahuasca, marijuana, and others may not cause the same health problems as harder, more artificial drugs, prescription or illegal. Some may even help to remedy health conditions. The problem is that if you use them to access higher realms or higher state of consciousness, they will open them for you while you are under their effect. But that's not beneficial because you are not prepared to face what goes on in those states of awareness. There are things on the other side that will go into you and vampirize your mind and soul. Because as you got there artificially, you haven't yet developed your own ways to protect yourself. And you will also go into a state of mind that will want you to be there more and more. First, closing other perception and consciousness improvements you may have, and then creating an addiction, also limiting your true progress. But you are also very vulnerable there. There are entities that inhabit those realms, and they don't always have your best interests in mind. Parasite and exploit you they will. You, as a soul and as a consciousness, you are complete, and you don't need to depend on any external substance to be able to have an etherical experience. You can do it with your mind alone, during meditation, or even with some practice during your waking time, and at will, all under your control. And those experiences will be genuine and will be you. You don't need anything, just your mind, your intention. Use meditation. Use daydreaming, another kind of meditation anyway. Does smoking marijuana lower your frequency? Some people have asked me. As with any other substance, it may feel as if it did raise your frequency, but there will be a negative bounce back, and you depend on something other than yourself, so it's limiting, very limiting. If you go there, if you use them, any of them substances, you will no longer be able to develop your own free mental techniques. Imagination is not empty fantasy. It's the stuff that precedes everything there is in the entire universe. Imagination is pure creative consciousness and intention. The blueprint for creation. Live there, and that's reality, because it is. It is your guide to what you want. It's where you design your future and life. You mentioned prescription drugs. Prescription drugs. All officially accepted prescription drugs are damaging for your health and are based on hiding symptoms only, rarely solving the problem that generated the illness, if any. They are based on the medical science of making money from your aches, not based on helping you. What should people do then? Use alternative natural therapies instead? Yes, go back to the old alternative, mostly herbal ways. For example, medicine to lower your cholesterol most elderly people take. Earth science states that cholesterol clogs arteries when it's not, and far from it. They don't even know what it is, and if they do, they will hide it from the people. Cholesterol is an antioxidant secreted by the body. It's protecting all its cells. When a body is too acidic, and this happens when your diet includes sugars, high doses of carbohydrates and meat, it will start to oxidize the cells in contact with the acid, mostly the gastrointestinal system, and then the entire blood circulatory system. The high acidosis condition will make the cellular structure brittle, causing micro cracks in the blood vessels. Those micro cracks can be very damaging, and it's because of an increased rigidity of the entire system. What cholesterol does is revitalize the cells in an acidosis condition and will also serve as a repair agent against those cracks. See cholesterol as a sealant for those cracks that are causing internal bleeding in various degrees. Without cholesterol, you can bleed internally until death. When a body is too acidic, the production of cholesterol increases in an attempt to stop the cracks and stop the bleeding, and it will naturally accumulate around the recurrent vulnerable zones, clogging the arteries. So the cholesterol is the body's solution to a problem, not the cause of the problem. So taking anti-cholesterol drugs only will cause an unwanted side effect, death. The reason cholesterol is too high is because of a bad diet, and mostly meat and sugar are the real cause of the clogging of the arteries, not cholesterol. We could talk for months about health issues. Maybe one day we will. Okay, so prescription drugs, avoid them. What about vaccines? Vaccines, they are all false. They are all just poison. Avoid all vaccines at all cost. There is no justification for them. Even the microbes, they don't work the way Earth's medicine says. Even for animals? Anti-rabies, etc.? No, not even animals, as they are people too. So the anti-rabies vaccine does not protect the dog from getting rabies? Rabies in animals like bats and cows, raccoons, squirrels and bears, extremely rare condition. If vaccinated, the probabilities of contracting rabies increase exponentially. It's an inoculation, not a vaccine. All of them are. Inoculation is to introduce a pathogen forcefully into an organism with intention of it contracting a disease. No vaccine prevents an animal or a human from contracting any disease. It's all propaganda. Microbes and viruses don't work that way. It's all a question of matching frequencies. That's why this health subject is so delicate. I was injected with hepatitis B. So you have it, but that doesn't mean that you will manifest it in your life. I won't. I declare it. My body is under my orders. Oh, I hope so. Don't hope. Never hope. Always control and manifest your will. Okay, I will do that. So, diet, prescription drugs, vaccines. Let's go to the diet. What type of diet do you have, and what do you recommend us to eat? We have a diet that you would consider strictly vegan. I mean, no animal product, no egg or milk or dairy. The problem with a vegan diet on Earth is that you have been without this diet for many generations. And this has caused the gastric system of humans in general to be slow to process food that is entirely plant-based, especially raw. Also, the chemicals in the food have impaired the ability of the gastric system to absorb nutrients. Then, a vegetarian diet would be more advisable in general. However, it should be the decision of each person to follow this or that diet according to their own organism and how they react with each diet. But what I should say is that the consumption of meat and fish does not benefit you at all, contrary to what you are told. The consumption of meat and everything that has had a face and a heart only makes a physical disaster of the human body, and this includes complex energy problems that have to do with frequencies of consciousness that are of vital importance, because the personal frequency, it is what protects us all of the negative events in our lives. Of course, this fact is ignored by the science of the earth. Also, because of the amount of problems and substances in the food, about 95% of the food of the earth is literally poisoned, you should stay away from everything transgenic, GMO, and everything that contains toxins of all kinds. GMO, or genetically modified organisms. If an organism was modified, it also modifies your organism. As a rule, if you cannot pronounce the name of an ingredient, it is a toxin or poison. I know that the organic is more expensive, but it is what should be consumed preferably. Is there anything specifically that you recommend to eat? A specific ingredient, product that elevates the frequency? Diet depends on the specific needs of each body type. That's why I don't want to remove dairy and eggs entirely. Also, many people there on Earth are very damaged in their gastric systems because of so many years of eating wrong things and substances, poisons, on food, so they cannot absorb nutrients as well as someone who was not damaged. So they do need supplements or dairy and eggs. The cholesterol in the eggs is very beneficial, and it will help lower your body needs to make cholesterol of its own. Supplement. The best is yeast, beer yeast. It's full of protein. It's almost all protein. Same as beans, faba beans, and all similar seeds, such as chickpeas. About meat, just look at your teeth. Just look at your long gastric system. You are not predators. You are much better than that. Yes, the beer yeast, should it be taken permanently? And what more products and ingredients and supplements are recommendable? Whenever you like, especially when doing a lot of exercise. Many people think it tastes disgusting. I like it though. It's pure protein, pure health. Whatever is not chemical in general. If you eat vitamins that are made in a lab, your body will not absorb them well, like vitamin C, for example. Lab-created vitamin C is a mirror image as a molecule compared to the natural one. So even if it's a technically vitamin C, your body will not recognize it as such. So with all those pills and vitamins bombs made in a lab, you are basically only causing yourself to have an expensive pee. Do you recommend detox programs? Too wide the concept. It's beneficial, for example, to go on a fast, or to go on a mono diet of bananas, for example. Yes, they are quite good. I went on a coconut-only diet last April, and it helped me a lot. Okay, so overall healthy body does increase the frequency, yes? Yes, overall health increases vibration, yes. And if you increase your vibration, leaving the meat behind as well as all drugs and smoking, your body will increase to a level where it's no longer compatible with illness. You will no longer get sick, or rarely. And sugar? Sugar is highly toxic. It's what really causes heart attacks and clogged arteries, not fat. Forget about calories as well, it's all nonsense. If someone is overweight, it's not because he or she ingests too much fat or too many calories. It's because the sugar and the simple carbohydrates that the body takes as sugar cause an insulin effect. And the body doesn't know what to do with so much insulin and so much sugar toxicity, so it stores it all as fat, as it cannot get rid of it. To drop weight, all you need to do is to stay away from all sugars and carbohydrates, especially the simple ones. Although it's almost impossible to avoid sugar and carbohydrates on Earth. Your body will enter a state of ketosis. This is a condition where there is no longer any sugar in the blood, and it causes the body to look for an alternative power or fuel source, your fat. But you must consume a lot of beans and similar seeds high in protein, and beer yeast to prevent muscle breakdown. And you may eat all vegetables all you want. I know many things are delicious. Eat them, as it's part of the experience of being there, but in small quantities. And others, if they want to lose weight, they must abstain from all sugar and carbohydrates, as even very small quantities do cause you to stop consuming your own body fat. Fruit, it also causes the system to stop eating your own fat. But it's sugar, it's consumable, as your body was designed to eat fruit. Your teeth are designed to indulge in an apple. It's chemically not the same sugar. Coming back to increasing your frequency. Watch your thoughts. You must be conscious of what you are doing and what you are thinking. Observe your reactions to whatever happens in your daily life. Remember that whatever receives your attention, you will get more of. Focus only on what you want and what makes you happy, and never on what you don't want, as whatever you resist persists. Let's do a practical exercise with this for people to see how they can apply it. There are intense fires happening now in Athens. Many people dying in fires or drowning escaping from the fires. What should be their reaction? Depends on where you are. Are you in Athens or are you in Argentina? I don't know, Paris. How do you know that's happening? Are you watching the news? Yes, and reading online. My mom showed me. If you receive such information, understand it, but remember always that you cannot do anything about it. Unless you are in Athens. If so, grab a bucket with water and go help. If in Paris, observe, but don't let it move you too much. It's not lack of empathy, it's logic and self-control. Also, you are in a matrix. Events occur to trigger an emotional response in you. For you, in your world, it's only happening on a TV screen. It does not apply to you. You know about the fire in Athens, but are you aware of the people dying in Vietnam because of the heavy rain and all the flash floods? It's a real event happening right now, not an empty example. No, I wasn't. So it wasn't in your world. You cannot help them either. Know about it, learn from it. What can be learned from it? It's there for you to know what you do not want in your personal world and experience. That, mostly. I see. Okay, we talked about the diet. Maybe now let's talk about exercise, meditation, practices such as Reiki, yoga, Tai Chi, etc. Are they all good for your frequency? And can you give us any good meditation practice, please? You must learn to trust yourself in knowing what things are the most uplifting for you, the things that most make you happy. The things you can do to elevate your frequency are literally endless. What if watching TV makes someone happy or going out to drink? That will only make the person illusory happy, and it will last as long as the effects last. Then a horrible drop in frequency will result, and it will stay low due to the feelings of guilt and plain simple sickness. What you must do is change things that you know are stopping you from elevating your frequency. This means you need to make a lifestyle change in general. The best things you can do are listen to music. Music will move you towards the mood and feelings of high frequency you want. It's one of the greatest and most effective tools we all have. Also, exercise a lot. It stimulates all your body, releases endorphins in your brain that will make you feel very good. You must exercise regularly to make it part of your schedule, part of your life as a constant. You can also go to places that make you feel happy and well. Nature in general will elevate your frequency. You can also be with people you know to be very positive, and so will elevate your mood and frequency. Stay away from those you know are destructive to you, those that make you feel sick, sad, or those that trigger negative feelings and unwanted reactions. This is the problem with family members, such as parents or brothers and sisters who always know how to push your buttons. Family members are the hardest to deal with when trying to keep a high frequency, as they always know how to mess with you, and apparently on Earth they also love to invalidate your self-worth as a constant in many families. Also, get crystals. They hold a very high frequency. Be around crystals as much as possible. Wear one around your neck, in your pocket. Put a crystal under your pillow at night. Never be far from one or more. Learn all about crystals and use the appropriate one for the occasion. They do work, and very well. I, Swaruu, use them all the time, like now. I'm wearing a lapis lazuli full necklace and earrings. Why do crystals work? Crystals are one-dimensional beings. They are conscious. They simply are. They cannot question. They hold a frequency of pure existence. They have an auric field that is very strong, so if you have a frequency of your own, it will add up to theirs under the principle of constructive interference, augmenting your total frequency. They will also reflect what they receive. So treat them with respect and with a lot of love, and they will reflect it back to you hugely augmented. Any specific crystal that you recommend? They are all good, but some are more efficient than others for certain tasks. The ones I recommend is the amethysts family. Clear quartz will keep you focused and with clear thought. Violet amethyst will augment your auric field and heighten your frequencies of higher contact with Source, and with it higher wisdom. Green amethyst will keep you in a frequency that promotes health in general. The rose quartz will keep you in total harmony with a very heart-based energy like love. They hold a lot of love, and although I love them all, my personal favorite is lapis lazuli, in both the blue one found on Earth and the black and red lapis lazuli that are not found on Earth, but I will mention it anyway. The blue one is my favorite because it heightens your overall awareness and connects you to the source. It also augments your psychic powers and keeps you in a stable, very high frequency of harmony. I am never far from a piece of lapis lazuli. To continue, anything that inspires you to transcend, to be artistic, to create, will raise your frequency. Painting, sculpture, music, building, fixing, they are all wonderful for this. You can also use scents and the so-called essential oils. They also do wonders for you. Your nose is connected to your memory systems. They trigger good memories and cleanse the place you're in. Use some on your pillow at night, and you will sleep wonderfully. Watch what you are focusing on in your life. Be very observant of your thought. Notice when you are having a negative one and why. Observe what you are looking at when walking outside. Are they nice things or are they negative things? Try to look at the things that make you feel good. Water, like swimming, taking a shower, walking in the rain on purpose, the seashore, a waterfall. They all will elevate your frequency because water has a very high frequency, very close to source. It will elevate your frequency very powerfully. Remember to laugh and smile. If you are not feeling so happy, but not in a severe depression, fake being happy until you are. Be very introspective. Know yourself to be able to identify what makes you happy and what doesn't. You must be able to see what's wrong in your life or even in your day, what you don't feel so good about in one or another moment. When you have negative thoughts, don't resist them or they will stay longer. If something messed with your frequency, you had a reaction you wished you hadn't had, just move on. Move towards whatever makes you happy. Don't worry too much. Don't get angry at yourself for having reacted in all ill way. Just move on. It's normal and we all have those moments, 3D and 5D alike. You said move away from your family members that trigger you. I thought the key is to overcome the trigger, not stay away from them. Clear the trigger. Even though that's hard to do, sometimes it's the only way. But that doesn't mean you cannot be strong enough to stay in a high frequency even around negative people. I am assuming you cannot overcome the trigger as it's been with you all your life. But if you can, even better. But if you cannot overcome the triggers, don't blame yourself and move on or evade the cause of the trigger. People ask me about the meditation technique. Any you can recommend? Meditation techniques, I cannot say the names because I don't know them. I only know Taygetan ways, not Terran techniques by name. Please share. How do you meditate? How do you connect with the source? It's a lot simpler than on Earth. On Earth, the techniques are very strict, almost military to my opinion. You must follow rules or else they don't work, or so they say. In Taygeta, you are taught meditation since you are a toddler. Simply to hold still when you feel the need to, when you feel off your center. You don't have to be in a lotus position. That's an earth concept. Just be as comfortable as you can, but preferably not completely lying down as you could fall asleep. Your body must feel the difference between sleeping time and intention and meditating time. Then, once comfortable, use music if you have any. In case you are on a ship like me, it's particularly useful to use headphones that cover your entire ears because it helps to isolate you from all the constant, ever-present ambient sounds that are very distracting. Concentrate on the music. That helps to stop thought. Meditate also using crystals, one in each hand. Lapis lazuli or amethysts on your third eye area with a headband. This helps you concentrate on your third eye area on your forehead. And it also opens your senses and all your psychic abilities. We meditate by stopping the mind, but it's not a problem for Taygetans because we all meditate since we were little. So stopping the mind is not something I can really describe how to from a human necessity point of view. One on each hand, the crystal, back straight, depends on each person, and you simply relax and turn the mind off, like with a switch. Just enjoy your time there, usually 40 minutes to an hour, and it feels like you've slept like 3 hours. Very energy refreshing. I guess the biggest difference is our ability to silence the mind just about immediately. Do mantras help? Breathing techniques? We don't use mantras. That's an earth concept. Breathing techniques, that's to silence the mind. Concentrate on your breathing, yes, do it, but we don't. We do use music. Soft, relaxing music or ambient sounds like water, seaside waterfall or rain. Okay, now a bit delicate question. Does having sex with multiple partners lower your frequency? From the perspective of the average frequency we have here, it does lower our frequency. Still well within the Taygetan high frequency range as compared to human frequency range. We do not do that, multiple partners, because it's an energy exchange that affects you for life. You create a bondage with the other person, so sex is a very delicate decision to make here, especially for women because of reproduction reasons as well here, as you know. We simply cannot recommend having multiple partners. Better work on getting a good one. Not because it's a sin or because it's morally wrong. No. From your isolated point of view, you cannot make any wrong choices ever. You can do anything, but not everything is convenient for you. Okay, Swaruu, one more question about the elevating the frequency topic, and I will let you go. How do you raise the frequency of your children when they are growing, apart from not giving them meat? Because it's one thing knowing what to do for yourself, another thing to raise your kids in a high frequency. Happiness means having a high frequency. It really is that simple. Make them happy. Give them what they need, not what you or society thinks they need. So no imposed ballet classes and things like that, just because you are a frustrated woman that never made her dance dream come true. It's about what the children want, not what you think they need. Not only meaning material things, but interests and freedom of thought and action. Don't live through them. You are you and you have a life. Respect theirs and their interests. Okay, Swaruu, thank you so much for all these wonderful tips of how to elevate our frequency. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, Gosha. And remember, simply be happy.
Muchas gracias, Swaruu, por tus consejos y tus puntos claves para mantener nuestra frecuencia elevada. Todos fueron puntos importantes. Como ya dije, muchos de estos puntos ya sabéis, pero está bien encapsularlos así y resumir todos. Me gustaría añadir, porque no voy a aclarar nada, porque aquí no hay nada más a aclarar, ni quiero añadir nada porque Swaruu ya lo expresó todo y no quiero hablar solo por hablar para alargar el video, pero me gustaría añadir un puntito más que desde mi experiencia me ayuda a mantener mi frecuencia y mi vida en general en el nivel más puro y elevado y positivo. Y esto es algo sencillo cuando lo dijo, vais a... pero de verdad es algo que hay que sentir fuertemente dentro. Y esto es la apreciación y el agradecimiento de diferentes detalles positivos en cuales estamos sumergidos en dado momento. Por ejemplo, si estamos en la playa y tenemos esta sensación de placer, de sol tocando nuestra piel y el viento en nuestro pelo, y estamos ahí comiendo fruta y todo está bien y no sentimos ningún dolor y todo está bien, disfrutar, entrar profundamente en este momento y dar las gracias a este momento, conectar con nuestra esencia de este momento y agradecerlo, porque agradecimiento es una fuerza metafísica, es una energía que literalmente mueve las olas en el campo etérico y nos atrae lo mismo que estamos agradeciendo en este momento, porque es donde nuestra energía va en este momento, donde nos enfocamos, damos fuerza y carga emocional a este momento positivo. Entonces esto mueve algo en el campo etérico y nos atrae más de lo mismo. Entonces, para mantenernos limpios y más elevados y para también atraer más de lo positivo, es poder fuertemente dentro, en cada célula, en nuestro corazón, sentir fuertemente el agradecimiento para cualquier detalle que nos está dando el placer o dándonos el bienestar en el dado momento. El agradecimiento por cualquier cosa, y enfocarse en esto y no en la cosa negativa que nos está pasando. Para mí es algo que me ayuda, que me sigue ayudando. En mis 40 años no me ha pasado muchas cosas negativas y estoy súper agradecida por mi vida, por todos los eventos y experiencias que tuve. Y cada experiencia que tengo, si por ejemplo estoy montando el caballo, me conecto mucho con este momento. Estoy ahora mismo montando el caballo. Qué maravilla es que estoy aquí con este animal y estoy en naturaleza, agradeciendo los detalles de todo lo que me rodea, estos árboles, mira, los paisajes, y me conecto mucho en este momento y siento como ya dijo, magnéticamente esto me atrae más y la vida sigue aportándome experiencias maravillosas, y doy las gracias a la vida misma y la conciencia y la esencia. Muchas gracias, seguimos adelante y nos vemos en el próximo video, que no nos vamos a ningún lado. Hasta luego, gracias.